Today I'll be showing you how to do a ladder stitch to close the openings of your bears once you've stuffed them. So I use embroidery thread for this, which is a lot stronger. It's 2 strands and it just makes sure it's nice and secure. You start by tying a knot at the very end of your thread and then pulling it through on one side close to the original seam. Once you've pulled that one through, you then go in on the opposite side and then back through about 5mm apart. And then once that side's done, again, cross over to the first side and repeat that all the way through. Again, making sure it's about 5mm apart each one. It's important to keep the distances the same, just to keep it looking nice and clean and the stitch has been the same distance. As you can see now, the ladder is starting to form, and which is where the stitch gets its name from. Once you've got to the end of this, you'll pull it through and that will close the seam, and it's an invisible stitch. So even if I was doing this on a black thread, you wouldn't actually see the stitch afterwards, if it's like in a contrast colour. So now we're getting near the end. I'm going to pull this through and now tighten it up. So you can see I place my finger just on the seam to just push those sides in. Sometimes it bobs up a little bit. You can just use the end of your needle to poke that back through. Now you don't have to use your finger to pop it back through. I just find it just finishes it a lot tidier. You can just pull it as it is and it should come through neatly, but sometimes you just get that little bit of cotton that pokes back up. When it comes to finishing off, you again just finish these last few stitches, but then you want to be able to bring your needle back towards the original seam to make it nice and straight. And then when you're at the last one and you're happy that it's come through, you come back into the seam and twist the cotton around your needle like this to form a knot. Then when you go back through, you'll pull that through here, and if you give it a little pull, that knot then goes into the seam, and then you're finished. Cut off the end.